All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. This is the time where I do the cheap and shameless plug of the Cow Guy Close. Top of the hour, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. I want to make sure you see it. You don't have to do anything. You can just let the clock do all the work for you. Just sit in the chair you're sitting on right now. And when the top of the hour comes around, so does this show. We got a great show, 3 great guests. You know what? I'm going to try to see, maybe for New Year's, let's make a pact that we see if we can make that show an hour. Who knows? I'm going to try to do that. But yeah, I want you to stick around and see it. And then, but if for some reason you got some field work to do or you get called away, I understand. So we put it on the radio so you can listen to it later. So it's late afternoon, early evening. We put it on rural radio, Sirius XM channel 147, 5 Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And if you missed that because of dinner, I get that too. We put it on again for you night owls at 2 a.m. Central, 3 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if you'll be up for that one. But anyway, we're on the radio twice, and we're on the telly once, as they say in England. So we give you 2 places to listen, 1 place to watch. Watching's the best. It's probably the most fun. 1 Central, 2 Eastern, the Cow Guy Close. All right. You know, we're up over 750 live shows. Can you believe that? Man, that's a lot. All right, let's talk about these markets. Corn. Bring up corn board as we go into the last part of the day, and I click on it. That's how that works, Shellady. We're down a half cent. That's about where we were the last time we visited. Maybe not quite, but anyway, we're a penny off the low of a 5-cent range. 4.32 is last. May, 4.37.5 is last. That's a penny and a half lower there. That's corn. Anywhere between 3/4 of a cent to a penny and a half lower across the board in very quiet trade. Soybeans, well, they're coming back a little bit. Jan's down 4 3/4 cents to 9.90. But here we go. March is up 4 1/4 cents. Jan was up 4 3/4 cents. I don't know if I said down or up, but anyway, they're all up. 4 1/4 cents better in March. 9.95 1/4 is last there. 5.5 cents off the low of the day, and about 8.5 cents off the highs. We're 3 cents better in the May to 10.06 3/4. Trying to defend that $10 line there, and we're only about 4 cents off the low. So we'll see. That's soybeans. Let's move out to the wheat in Chicago. Chicago wheat, 1 1/4 cents better in March to 5.48.5. We're a penny and 3/4 cents better in May to 5.57.5. That's Chicago wheat. Let's go to the Kansas City wheat. That would be the hard red. That's up 2.5 cents to 5.43 in March. May's up 2 3/4 cents to 5.50.5. Moving out from the Kansas City wheat, let's go to the Minneapolis spring wheat. A penny and 3/4 cents better in that March contract. 5.89.5 last, 2.5 cents off the lows, while we're a penny and 3/4 cents better in the May to 5.97.5. And let's get to the cotton. We'll get to our guest analyst. Cotton, drum roll please. We're up 4 ticks. 71.53 is last, and let's bring him on. Mr. Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge. Ted, thanks for sticking around. All right, brother. I don't know, anything jump out of you there?
Yeah, not really, man. It's it's pretty quiet. Like, we are trading a range, Scott, and you kind of wonder what's going to break us out of this range. You got a lot of crazy news in the world, but that's not really grain sensitive. I'll say the Brazilian real is kind of bearish for beans in particular, even corn now at this point. And then, we're very worried about what's going to happen with renewable fuels going forward. But or with mandates, not really renewable fuels, because in my opinion, renewable fuels to a big extent can kind of stand on their own. Anywho, right, we're looking for direction, right? At the moment, we are just kind of drifting sideways. Soybeans continue to sort of test the near contract lows, but monthly lows, 2 months lows. I mean, this 875 or 975 level has been bounced off of so many times. At one point, we're either going to get through it or we're going to rally, Scott, and I'm not sure, and the market's not sure which way that's going to go yet. We really just haven't been able to sustain much of a bounce off of it. As you mentioned, we're about 9 cents off the highs here on a day where, yesterday we tested that contract low, basically bounced off of it. You figured we'd have some momentum to the upside today. We did, but really not able to capitalize on that either. So I don't know. I keep looking at South America and the Brazilian weather, and I'm not feeling like we are going to or need to have this sort of seasonal rally into the end of the calendar year that we normally do. If we are going to do that, Scott, we really should get that started soon. And the longer it takes to get going with that, the more likely we are going to finally break through these lows and unfortunately probably accelerate to the downside.
Kind of hard to argue with any of that. I hear you. Stay there, though. We're going to go away. We need to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge in Chicago, right after this. All All right, welcome back. Let's talk about some livestock, right? You wear this jacket all day, you really got to make sure you know the livestock prices, and I do. Here, let's go to the live cattle, and we'll let you know all the livestock prices. We got some front-end loaded gains here. Feb's up $1.05 to 188.97. We're $1.07 better in the April, right behind it to 191.20. And we're going out the deferreds to even August. We're up 65 cents out there to 185.60. So all the big gains are really front-end loaded in Feb and April, but that's not a bad board. We'll take it. We're $1.05 better in the Feb to 188.97. Let's move out to the feeders, see what they've got in store for us. Well, we've got a decent gain up front in Jan, $2.50 better there to 259.35. We're $1.57 better in the March. How about that? 257.12 was last there, and we're $1.20 better in the April, 258.17. Let's finish up on lean hogs. We'll get back to our guest analyst. Just a little bit of a rollover here. Nothing too significant. 22 cents lower in the Feb, 87.72. April's down 22 cents to 92.27. All right, let's bring in our guest analyst. We've got about 75 seconds for you, Mr. Seifried. Have at it. What do you think?
Yeah, like you said, your first glance at hogs, it's not a whole lot going down. We're down on the day a little bit, but we are about $1.50 off the highs. So that's a bit of a failure. I don't really like seeing that. I'm a bit worried that we could finish the week fairly heavy in hogs. So that's a concern of mine. The funds are really, really long there, so it wouldn't take much to have a bigger, deeper technical correction. That is on my radar. I think it should be on other people's radar as well. As far as the cattle are concerned, it's nice to see some pretty solid gains there. But the big outside sweeping reversal down day that we had in feeder cattle, we've not negated that. There has to be kind of red flags, not necessarily saying, hey, the highs are in, but look, we're on alert. We are on watch. We have these red flags popping up. Keep an eye on things, right? I think that was a very good time to be protecting downside of really livestock as a whole, if you need to. So, again, it's good to see the gains that we've got in the cattle complex. We'd like to see bigger ones. We're going to need to see bigger ones tomorrow in order to negate the negative chart pattern that started to form yesterday. If we don't see that, unfortunately, I think the technical traders will try to take this into a bit of a correction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust it right now. I'm a little leery of all the funds right now, and again, especially with cattle, this time last year, I still have PTSD. So I'm just kind of, if you know what I mean. Thanks for coming on, though. Always great to have you on. Kind of finishing up, batting clean up on a Tuesday. Thank you very much, Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge, coming to us from Chicago, bringing it back home one more time and giving it back over to Suzanne.